Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, creatures and androids, spooks and goblins, welcome to the first episode of this brand new series where we take a look at the coolest and the not so brilliant knockoffs on the collector market. In today's show, we take a look at the timeless classic, a true hero of the toy box, the courageous commander of the Autobots of Cybertron, Optimus Prime. I couldn't think of a more fitting toy for the first episode of a nostalgic series about knockoff toys than the Generation 1 Optimus Prime. I think it's fair to say that Transformers, particularly the original Generation 1 line, has been knocked off far more than any other toy line out there. And G1 Transformers will make up a substantial portion of this series. Okay, so let's get some points cleared up before we start on this journey.
What is a knockoff?
A knockoff is exactly what it sounds like. It's a copy of something that has already been produced, something already out there on the open market, or has been at some point. Something another company has made a direct copy of the original, and more often than not, that they try to pass off as the original itself. Knockoffs should not be confused with third-party products or bootlegs.
Just a minute. Third party? What's that?
Third party can be many things, but more often than not, it is aimed at accompanying, replacing, or improving an official product or product line. If you buy unofficial accessories to go with your Star Wars Black Series or Marvel Legends action figures that Hasbro, the official license holder, has never actually made, they would be considered third party. Also, if you buy some specially designed arm or leg extensions for that Transformer that's just a little bit too short, this would also be third party. But I think the most obvious example of third party would be the vast amount of masterpiece style transforming robots on the market that look very much like our Cybertronian friends. In a nutshell, third-party products are completely original toy designs, different from the official ones, and usually have different names in order to avoid those pesky corporate lawyers.
Great! And bootlegs?
Bootlegs can often fit under the knockoff header, but more often than not, they aren't pretending to be the real deal like knockoffs usually do. Bootlegs usually are very cheap, and they look it. Of course, this is the whole part of their charm to collectors. Often made in the wrong colours, have poor proportions, and the packaging can be hilarious.
Okay, so I think I get it. So you won't be covering third party or bootlegs in this series?
That's the plan, at least for Season 1. I may change my mind as we proceed on this adventure into unscrupulous toy worlds, but for now, it's just the knockoffs.
And I mean, well, I say series. I have 2 episodes of these underway, this one and the next. I'm not quite sure where it's going to go from there, but hey ho! I suppose 2 episodes can still be a limited series, can't it? Can't it? And these first 2 episodes have been about 9 months in the making, so don't go expecting a 3rd episode anytime soon.
And you're starting with Optimus Prime?
Autobot Commander Optimus Prime, a true icon since his introduction in 1984. This knockoff has been kicking around for at least 20 years, and with the complete and boxed minty versions of the original toy now changing hands for upwards of £400, you can't blame people for picking these much cheaper options up when you can get that same nostalgic kit for under 30 quid. But is it any good? Well, that's what I'm about to find out. Let's start with the box. It's fine. The print quality is good. Not perfect, but more than acceptable. The knockoff Optimus Prime has always been instantly identifiable as a knockoff by this extra grey border across the top of the window. You see, it was actually absent from the original. The box card quality also seems fairly good, although it is glossy. The original was much more flat, more matte. So the glossy finish is also an instant giveaway. Now the topper, this top flap across the top of the box. The glue has failed, and the front and rear are separating. This makes the box feel quite weak. When I get a chance, I'll get a bit of PVA glue in there and stick it down properly, and that should fix the problem. I think that's as much as I can say for the cardboard box. Let's get this amazing toy out and have a look at it.
This toy did not start life as Optimus Prime, or even as a Transformer. Optimus Prime started life under Takara, rather than Hasbro, as part of the Diaclone toy line. Battle Convoy. Prime's predecessor was essentially a transforming mech suit, piloted by Diaclones. These Diaclone pilots were even included as miniature figures with the original toy, and that is why Optimus and so many of the original Transformers toys had seats that looked like they would seat a figure. Wait a minute, does this mean the original Transformers toys were actually knockoffs too? Albeit in an official capacity?
Oh wait, I just remembered another great way to identify this as a knockoff. The styrofoam insert is too small. It's not tall enough to fill the box. It's only about half a centimetre or so, but it's there. Or rather it isn't. But styrofoam insert! Even the official toys don't use these anymore because plastic is cheaper. I mean, because chopping down more trees to make cardboard inserts is gonna save the planet. I just love a bit of good old-fashioned styrofoam though. Alright Optimus, it's your time to come out of your coffin. Okay, so it looks good. Very good detail. Colours are spot on. And it does exactly what it's supposed to do. Now, to the best of everyone's knowledge, these are made out of the same moulds as the originals, because back in the day, when Hasbro brought the Transformers line to an end, they, in all their wisdom, decided to sell off all the moulds to some Chinese firm. I mean, come on Hasbro, you don't set yourselves up to be knocked off. But that just means we get nice things, at even nicer prices. The accessories are all here, and they look good. I love the fact that they include two versions of the gun. The normal, and the bloated one. The latter being something of a deep cut for vintage collectors. I wonder if they made a Redfoot version of this knockoff. As well as the two guns, it has the gas pump and the nozzle. No bloated version of these though. The hose, however, this is very different to the original, as it is solid, the original being a hollow tube. I assume this may vary from time to time, as it's not really important. It's probably dependent on what is available on the cheap at the time. This hose, though, is very stubborn when it comes to putting it in the pump and nozzle. With a little bit of force, though, you can get it to stick. Naturally, he has his fists, both a left and a right. Congratulations to that factory in China for getting that one right. There's nothing worse than opening up your new figure to find he has two of the same hand. Hasbro!
He's the ultimate Autobot hero, Optimus Prime.
The Optimus Prime toy was good enough to be released mostly unchanged when the Transformers line relaunched for Generation 2 in 1992. That's 8 years after G1 first started. Changes made included switching his grey trailer to black with a named label, you know, just in case he lost it in the cloakroom and another Autobot tried to say it was theirs, and larger missile-firing guns. It was the 90s. But the figure itself was pretty much unchanged except for the Autobot tramp stamp on the back of his leg.
He comes with 4 missiles too. Oh, Roller! How could I forget you, you pathetic little 6-wheel buggy you? Roller has all 6 of his separate wheels, and I gotta be honest, these are a little loose. They do come off far too easily and there's a good chance of losing them. But I didn't buy this for Roller. Oh, Optimus Prime, you stunning and shining masculine example of the forgotten era. Your transforming and rolling out was a staple of most prepubescent boys' childhoods throughout the 80s. And this glorious figure of yours should be the right of all sentient beings. Knockoff signs are there in the form of these little white spots from the manufacturing process. They are absent, or at least much cleaner on the original, but their presence here doesn't really detract from the toy at all. As you can see, the detail is fine, and that vac metal chrome is a thing of beauty. You're listening, Hasbro? We want vac metalizing back. Nobody wants your dull, almost brown C-3POs. On to the transformation. It transforms smoothly. No parts catching or snagging, no loose swinging around limbs. Nice transformation that takes less than 20 seconds. No stress, but all the fun. However, as awesome as he is, he does look a little naked. He needs his stickers! Now, I did spend around 45 minutes applying these stickers for 2 reasons. Number 1, I wanted them to look good and neat. Number 2, they're slightly oversized. Something I would go on to learn is a very common factor with these Transformers knockoffs. In hindsight, I wish I'd taken time to trim them down a little. A lesson I didn't learn here, but at a later date. Also, I find the stickers are not as foil-like and as shiny as I remember the original ones being, but that could be my old brain playing tricks on me. It has to be said, even if they are a micron or two too big, Optimus does now look the dog's testes now that he's all stickered up. And yes, I haven't even mentioned the trailer.
This original Optimus Prime design has seen more repaints than any other Transformers toy. Probably. Even back in the day. In 1985, we were blessed with this limited edition mail-away Pepsi promo. He's had gold chrome, he's been green and camo, he's been grey and camo, oh, and red and camo, he's been gold, and of course, you cannot go wrong with a black Prime.
But what's to say? It's a big grey box on wheels that attaches to the toy you actually want to play with. Okay, that's very harsh, and attitudes like that lead to travesties like this. Hasbro! In all seriousness, the trailer is perfectly fine and really looks the part once labelled up. The missiles fire out of the robot module with enough of a punch so as not to be considered a disappointment. And the robot itself can be posed without fear of the weight being too much for the loose joints that I had been expecting from a knockoff, i.e. it's not loose. I suppose that brings us to the end of this first knockoff review. As a retailer of toys, I cannot really recommend or encourage anyone to buy knockoffs. But if you were choosing between this wonderfully nostalgic replica of your favourite 1980s role model, or say this soulless, overpriced and pathetic attempt to milk the last few drops of ambrosia from a cow's rotting corpse, then I think the answer's fairly obvious, don't you? As I said near the beginning of this video, G1 Transformers are going to make up a substantial portion of this whole series, almost like its backbone. But it won't all be Transformers. We do have some very interesting toys to look at going forward. Watch out for those other toys making a premiere from episode 3. Because to follow on from Optimus Prime, there was only really one choice that I could make for episode 2. That's right folks, join me in the next instalment of It's a Knockoff, when I take a look at the brand new Generation 1 knockoff of Decepticon leader Megatron. Thanks for watching everyone, remember to smash that like button on your way out and I will catch you again in the next one. Bye bye!